back with another episode of Friend, You Got This. I'm your guide, Allijahh, and this is our safe space group chat for all of my ladies navigating through their professional and personal goals. So I know that you guys can see we have two beautiful new guests on our show today. Before introducing them, let me start us off with the prompt. Today's episode is called Dating 101, to keep it short and cute. The prompt is, all my ladies, all my guys out there watching, I want you guys to sit down, you can write your notes, you can write down in a book, or just go over it with yourself so that you know exactly where you are, and write down your dating boundaries. What are you willing to allow? What are you not willing to allow ever again? What are your red flags? What are your icks? And apply that if you're dating or if you're currently seeing someone, so that way you can keep, staying true to yourself throughout the process. Drop down in the comments below. Let me know how that benefited you guys, if any of you did. Now today we have my best friend Marlene and basically my sister Allijahh coming in all the way from Jacksonville. So this is a very special episode filled with bad bitches.
Very special.
You guys probably can't handle it. Right? So today's episode is gonna be about dating 101. And I'm gonna start us off with a couple questions to get everything flowing. Let's do our little cheers real quick.
Cheers, ladies.
To the next episode.
To the podcast.
Yes. To Friend, you got this.
Friend.
Okay. So I'm gonna start this off because I don't know if you guys know, I'm a Scorpio, and I know we have another Scorpio in the room, and my friend here is a Gemini. So I want to ask you girls first and foremost, in terms of your sign, what do you look for when dating a man, and do you think it stays true to your zodiac, or do you think it differs for different zodiac, or is it like a universal thing? All right, because just like what we were talking about yesterday, they like to say Scorpios, we put up a wall until we finally meet a guy, and then we're like the most emotional things ever. They say we're freaky, yada yada yada. So I want to know if you girls feel like whatever you feel like you have, whatever your standards are with dating, do you feel like it has a lot to do with your zodiac sign, or do you feel like it's more universal? So whichever wants to take it.
Really, it could go either way. I feel like it depends on what perspective you're looking at it from. I think certain things really line up with how I act when I'm dating a man, but other things it's all right, this is dragged out and it doesn't have nothing to do with me. So please stop putting this little stereotype on me.
Right.
That be getting tiring. It is only just a zodiac, but you going somewhere with it.
Right. I feel the same way. Kind of half and half. It could be geared towards your sign, but all girls at the end of the day feel the same. That's the reason for this podcast. We all go through the same shit. Yeah. But what do you feel?
I agree. I feel like it can be 50-50. Some things will be very true, and then some things will be all right, you're dragging it. It doesn't. Not all Geminis are the same.
Yeah.
But to answer your question, I feel like for a Gemini, I feel like I look a lot in a man. I need communication, very communicative, intellectual. I like to have conversations about different things. I like to debate. I like somebody who's very open-minded, and I feel like that's very true to Geminis.
That's what I was going to say, Does that pertain to the stereotype?
Yeah.
So what other sort of stereotypes do they have about Geminis? Since I really only know Scorpio, just she knows Scorpio. Well, what do they normally say Geminis are, or they act like?
Especially as women, because I just was with a Gemini man.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah, so Scorpio and Gemini, that's so interesting.
And that was a whole nother level, So what's it for girls?
Yeah.
I guess we can get the same things. We could be two-faced,
okay,
or we can be very hot and cold. 1 second we're hot, one second we're cold, moody, impatient. I feel like that's something that I started to realize about myself, that I can be a little impatient, and that's something that they say about Geminis. But yeah, what was your experience with a male?
I just felt
you can say whatever you feel comfortable with.
Nah, I think the biggest thing that I noticed is I wouldn't say that it's Geminis are two-faced, but I think that it's two personalities.
Yeah.
It can literally be one way or a whole nother.
Yeah.
And the switch is quick.
Yeah.
You gotta catch it. And it was super difficult for me to catch it in a relationship because I'm a Scorpio, I'm emotional, I'm crying, I wanna know right then and there what's going on. And it was a roller coaster.
So I mean, it
Yeah.
makes sense then.
Say
That's
that.
kind of stereotype with the two-faced or two personalities. 'Cause
Yeah.
you mentioned that, and she said she experienced it.
Yeah.
So some of it is true.
to male and women.
Yeah.
For sure.
I was just gonna be like, maybe they're all kind of the same thing because you mentioned impatient, this and that the same can go for Scorpio. But we have like our main quirk that's like geared towards that specific zodiac sign.
Yeah.
And do they say two-faced because the sign is like two heads or
Because it's
something?
the twins. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because we have that. Yeah. So
And
it'll give
Scorpio-
us like that duality. And but the way that I like to look at it is like we're able to see things from two different perspectives.
Yeah, that's how you
But
gotta.
Okay.
So for both of you girls, what would be like your top 5 standards or top 5 qualities that you look for in a man when you're dating? And by the way, I'm in a relationship, so I'll speak about like my relationship. But you girls, what do you look for when you're dating? Like what's like no, if you don't have this, I'm not doing that. And it can be physical or it can be emotional, mental traits or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So take the floor. What do you?
For me, I don't know if I have like 5 things that I'm really just set on.
Mm-hmm.
I know for sure like communication is hella important. Like I'm not playing with you quick to say something because you feel some type of way. Like that gotta be like number 1. Gotta go.
Yeah, communication is number 1.
Gotta go. Maybe like some type of financial stability if I'm really being honest. Like, I'm down to like be with a man, grow with him and build with him.
Yeah.
But then it's also like there really has to be a balance for a relationship. So like that's important as fuck. And then honesty.
So you have mainly top 3.
Mm-hmm.
But I would agree with all of those too.
Yeah.
What about you? What's your top?
So let's do top 3.
You can do top 3 to make it quick.
Yeah. I would say open-minded, just in all facets.
Yeah.
Like I said before,
That's a
like
good one.
yeah, like I can't be with somebody who's closed-minded or is like very rigid because I'm a very flexible person and I'm like okay, like I'm kind of very go with the flow. So it's like I need somebody that can kind of match my energy in terms of that.
Absolutely.
I would say sense of humor, which I feel like girls always mention that, but it's
That's a
like
good one.
if we really need to be able to joke and have a good time together and feel like that friendship vibe. If I don't feel that with you, or I feel like you're very serious, or you can't laugh, or everything is like a big deal, then I'm not gonna feel comfortable.
That was 3?
Yeah, no, that was my second one.
Okay.
I can't think of a third one, but I feel like those are the 2 that come to
The main ones.
mind. Yeah.
I would say communication, like top notch, number 1. I would say these 2 coincide, like respect and being able to adapt to like any circumstance that you're given.
Yeah.
And absolutely comes ahead of you. But I feel like that goes hand in hand with respect because like no matter how you're feeling, no matter what you're going through, with your partner, you should be able to, communicate one, but also just be respectful, be a man, is what I would like to say. And I would say be another that coincide, like optimistic and be a go-getter.
Yeah.
So don't dwell on negative things because I'm big on that too. Like if the people I'm around, especially the person that I'm around, is not like optimistic or they don't like think about the positive things or anything like that, it can bring me down and make me feel unmotivated. Which I'm lucky, that I have all of that with my partner right now. But those are my main 3 things I would say.
Yeah.
Which is a little bit of both of what you girls say.
Yeah.
No, and I think I have another one too, because now that I'm really thinking about it, just going through everything, I feel like commitment, like people don't really know, like it could be like so many range of like what commitment is to somebody, and it's like, yo, like if you is not a committed person, if you're scared of commitment, like that's a no. That's a no-go.
Yeah, I was gonna say that has something to do with like age too, but it really doesn't because there's older men who don't.
Who act like they're super young.
They get into something just to disrespect someone and not,
Right. Or they don't know what they want. They're 35, 38,
Literally.
and they still don't know, which is fine. Like, everybody's on their own journey, But there could also be the opposite. You could be 24 and you are very strong-minded. You have a good head on your shoulders. You know what you want. You know what you're looking for. And you're able to, articulate that.
Sure.
All right, so I have a little spicy question.
Ooh, a spicy question.
So, have you ever had a crush on someone that you shouldn't have? Like, he's dating a friend. it's a no-go zone. Like, you know you can't do it. So what do you feel about, if you have, what do you feel about it? Do you feel like it's a boundary thing, or do you feel like life is a bigger purpose and maybe you could be meant to be with someone, you should try it? What do you girls think? And I'm gonna stay out of this one. I'm gonna throw it out there.
Y'all gotta answer.
I'm gonna throw it out there.
She threw us in the fire.
No, for real. No.
I say, your friends are probably watching this. Don't use names.
Wait. So the question is like, if
Have you
having
ever
a
had a
crush
crush?
on someone that you shouldn't.
That you shouldn't. Like, you can't do anything with them, but you like them.
Yeah,
I have
like,
something
for
that comes
sure.
to mind.
Okay, you want to speak about it?
I'm gonna be very light with
Yeah,
it, but
yeah.
dating or having a crush on someone that you find out is not completely free.
Okay.
Oh, that's
I feel
similar.
the same
Yeah.
thing. Same thing.
So you're
Mine
like,
was like a double too, because it was like, you're not free, you really got a situation, and your friend likes me.
So wait. Okay, you lost me with that. Hold up.
Cause
Is a guy that's in a relationship and
yes,
you liked him, but his friend liked you.
And like,
so it would have hurt two people. Then.
Mhm.
you were in a little
Square.
ultimately though, dude's friend like really was upset for real when shit went
Oh,
down.
so you did explore.
We was like hanging out, smoking, whatever, but you know, we never really like tapped into nothing because I'm like, no,
Okay.
you know, I'm not finna like play with you. You got a whole bitch, like
Right.
this is not what we finna do.
Right.
But it definitely was like, to be honest, like a little exciting.
That's how it is. It's like a
That's
girl.
what makes you want to explore it. 'Cause
That's
you're
what makes
like,
me want to try
damn.
more.
like, damn.
Yeah, for sure.
So y'all think that you should try it out if you really feel, if y'all both feel like you should, or you should accept boundaries. What do y'all think?
I think it depends on the like circumstances for
sure.
real.
For
Like,
sure.
you know,
For sure.
it's like definitely we not trying it while you dealing with a whole nother situation, for one.
Right.
And then like, since there is other people involved, it's just a lot of like communication to everybody. Like, it's too many feelings involved. I feel like off the rip it's messy. So like, I don't see it progressing in a positive way at that point.
Yeah.
Right.
You know.
So tread lightly.
Mhm.
I would say if you want to explore it, tread
Communication
lightly.
key, probably.
Communication, definitely. Honestly, at that point, you might as well be as honest as you possibly can.
Gotta be.
Like, be straight up honest because there's nothing to, no
Nothing
secrets.
higher.
nothing
Y'all
to
risking
hide.
it all. So it's
Right.
like, let's just.
But I would say, like, focus on what you can control because I feel like that's
Yeah,
something
for
that
sure.
I had to learn. Like, focus on I can only control what I feel, how I'm showing up. So just focus on what you can control and just tread lightly.
So when would you girls know, like if you're dating someone, when would you know that it's a good time to take it to the next level, like to be exclusive? What are your key, like, okay, this is going good, this is going good. Especially, let's say, okay, it would be a two-part. So when will you know that it's good to to take it to the next step? Or what would you do if you're feeling some way about someone and you think you want to take it to the next step, but they're not ready or they don't want to be in a relationship?
Well, if you're not ready, then that's it. You're gone.
Okay.
Bye. That's how I feel
I like
about
that
it.
one.
But as far as like, I feel like for me, like I tend to like just be all in off the rip, like, and I don't even know.
Scorpio.
I don't even really be knowing, like for real. I'm just like, oh well, we have a good time, so fuck it, you know.
Yeah.
And it's like that should really be coming back around on my ass later, but
Yeah.
I don't even be looking for nothing. If you make me laugh, we have a good time, we could try something. And the physical chemistry is like
Right.
there, you know.
For me too, it just always happens.
Yeah.
It's never a conversation. It's like
Oh, it's
I
just
don't know
like-
the boundaries of what I just start feeling
Right.
real strong, and I'm just like, hey, we go together.
Period.
That's it. Like I feel it, and I know when I feel it. When I feel like I can't leave you, like if I leave you, I gotta call you or I want to chill with you again.
Yeah.
I feel like that's when it's like, okay, we're
Same.
boyfriend and girlfriend.
Same.
We're about to be married. That's how I be.
Married is crazy.
It's crazy, but that's how I be. I'll be falling hard.
We're like that. We start thinking about that future already.
What about you? What would you say is your?
I would say when I feel like I can be myself, 100% myself with you. And same thing, like if I leave our experience together and us hanging out and I'm thinking about it and I'm replaying the memories in my mind and I'm like, oh, okay, I really enjoyed this time with you.
Mhm.
I'm like, I feel a little bit more.
So what is your fantasy, like, it don't have to be a first date, but like a fantasy date, like a date that you wish somebody would just plan for you. That it would just be, you always wanted it, and it's like, oh my god.
I just want to go on a trip. Like,
I was gonna say
I want
the same.
I want my line to be hit on some. We going to Tahiti and I got
Is that a real
everything.
place?
Yeah.
I said Tahiti.
That's Tahiti. Tahiti.
I gotta search this up.
Yeah, no,
Yes,
it's pretty
Tahiti.
as fuck. But not like I just if you can plan, because I feel like I'm usually a planner. Like in any time I've dealt with a dude, I'm the one that like plans shit. Like I say where we're gonna go, what I want to do and shit, and it's like sometimes I just don't fucking feel like doing that. So if a motherfucker catch me by surprise planning some shit,
Best believe.
I'm yours. The
Yeah. What about you?
I would say the same, like very similar to that, a trip, like, or at least like you said, planning something, like taking that initiative. I would say like also going on a new adventure, like going to do an activity that's fun, that gets us like out of the same routine of having dinner and or movies and stuff like that. Like if you plan a date where it's like we're gonna go do something, and then just keep it going from there and letting it flow. That's the ideal date for me.
Yeah, like I want the dress laid out. Like you picking my outfit.
Yeah.
You pick the spot, the time, everything.
Yeah, pretty much.
I would say, for me, it don't have to be like specifically going out somewhere. It's a mixture of like going somewhere and planning and being like thoughtful. I would want like first of all, you're gonna be talking to me before we go on this. You're gonna learn some things about me.
Right.
So I want you to take the time to learn what's my favorite type of music, what's my favorite type of snack, what do I like to do, what do I like to talk about, and I want him to hit all those spots. Like, give me my favorite candy, my favorite flower when we meet each other. Let's go watch a movie that I like.
Right.
You want to play the music? Play your music while we're driving.
Yeah.
Oh, let's go here. Oh, I also planned this. I know you like to read. Let's read together. Like, it's, like I want it to be like, okay, you did, like for real, cater to me, and clearly, I don't want it to be all about me, but I definitely want it to be like multiple things that shows, wow, you're listening, like, and it's just not one thing.
Attention.
You're paying attention, like, oh, I got you this bow for your hair because you said you needed more bows, and it's pink because it's your color. Like, I want it to be that, and I'm like, you always want to read this book, I bought it for you, and I'm be like,
no, I might cry.
yeah, like that's I mean, like mad thoughtful.
You love me.
Mad thoughtful, mad nice and shit. All right, how do you balance your own needs and desires with the person you're dating? Like, along with their needs and desires as well when you guys are dating?
I feel like that's hard. Like, personally speaking, I feel like I'm honestly still working on it.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I be trying to just, like, not people please, but like I be trying to just please my man. I'm gonna do whatever, and then it's like, oh, I lost myself, and now I have to like re-fucking center all over again, and it'd be way harder at that point to like communicate your needs and your wants and shit, because you already portrayed like this whole person. So I'd be like lost as fuck.
That'd be hard for me too. Yeah. We're literally like the same, like giving a lot, or like I like to help people, so I'll be like, what do you need help with? Oh, this and this, and then my cup is like here, and theirs is up here, and it's rarely ever reciprocated to the same extent.
Yeah.
That
I think that individuality is just hella important.
Yeah.
Like, you be really
and put
like,
yourself first.
You be really like merging into one. And I think also just staying true to that. Like, it's okay if I like to read a book and you like to listen to the audio. Like, that's fine. We don't both have to like reading the fucking book and sitting down. Like, we can like different things. We can be different, and shit can still work.
Yeah, I feel like
it might have been cutting off your face, but I couldn't tell.
I'm not sure.
This is what she looks like if you haven't seen. What do you feel like?
Remind me the question.
How do you balance your own needs and desires versus your other? Especially, it's more important when you guys have different needs and desires. So how do you find a balance? And make everybody happy?
Agreed. I feel like I'm definitely still figuring that out, but I feel like I've gotten to the point where I'm learning how to vocalize what I need and what I'm looking for and what like what the things that are important to me, to then be able to communicate that.
Yeah.
It is hard, and like I said, it's still a learning process because it's like, in those moments where you do feel like you're not getting what you need, it's like I need to nip this now, like I need to say it now. So it's like you kind of have to catch yourself.
Yeah.
But yeah, I still feel like it's a work in progress.
I feel like that shit is hard though. Like the standards of relationships are like out the fucking roof, and people think that I gotta find somebody that's like, if you meet all of my needs, and that's fine, but then they'll forget about their partner. Like that's men and women.
Yeah.
We're constantly focused. It's like the balance of being a priority yourself, but then also giving a fuck about your partner, your relationship. Like that's tough as fuck.
Yeah, relationships are work.
Yeah.
Just like being single and being out dating and going through like all the lessons of dating, being in a relationship and growing together is hard
It's
too.
a job.
It's pick your hard, they're both hard.
Choose your poison. All right. So, what is the worst date experience you've ever had? That it was like, oh nah, or even talking to someone if you didn't get to the date stage. Like you was like, I know I'm not gonna mess with you. I feel like I know yours.
Well, remind me because I can't think.
She said,
I don't know.
secret guy.
But I feel like I know yours. So what
We're
about
not
you?
dropping names.
And it don't even have to be first. It could be like your first couple of weeks talking that you're like, yo, he lied. Like he's really this or that, and I can't mess with it.
I feel like the worst experience I personally had was like I kind of was talking to somebody for like a couple of weeks, and they were like grown, but for some reason like their people were like hella fucking strict, even though he was a grown ass man.
Oh, he still lives with his parents.
And like I'm saying, like
Red flag.
I'm saying like you can't leave the house. You gotta be home at a certain time. You not tell people.
How old was he?
Dude, like 27, and I'm like, oh fuck no, like. This is like weird. Like, why are you all up under your people's shit? Like, you need to get your own shit together. Like, that was a turn off dad. I'm like, you gotta go. And then dude was like, pressing.
Nigga, what are you doing? Chill you on before your curfew?
Exactly. Like,
you're gonna have time to drop me off, and then like
you want to color and now?
Color is crazy because they're a child.
He's a child.
So I was like, oh no. That gotta be the
like,
worst.
what is he doing for you if he still can't provide for himself? How would it ever be?
Right.
And it's the fact that like you just have no boundaries with your parents. I feel like you get to a certain age, like you're an adult, you still have to do the shit you gotta do. Like you finna let your mom tell you that you gotta be home at 10 p.m. and you're 27 years old. Like that's weird. Like,
and it's like would they interfere with our relationship if we're not? Because you clearly held them to a high standard. They want to rule your life.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta worry about fighting your mom.
right.
Like no.
Because
No
I got
fighting
him.
moms. No fighting moms, please.
No, but it's like, what about you? Is it that or is it?
Yeah, I feel like that.
I understood it. Who is it?
This girl.
Or is it somebody before me? Like before I met you?
Yeah, no, I can't think of anybody. I think that's the most recent person that
Which
comes
one?
to mind.
The first one?
The first one, yeah.
Okay, and why do you feel
Where-
like he was a bad experience?
Because he just came on too strong and didn't know how to say things. Like the way he would say things would come off like too abrasive.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like you express yourself. Absolutely, I'm all for letting me know how you feel. But I feel like at a certain point, it's like we're still in very early stages. So certain things don't need to be said, or certain things don't need to be addressed. So that I would say that's where I learned a lot about what I don't want.
Mm-hmm.
And he ticked off like 4 different boxes that I was like, you're making me over-explain myself? Why? I'm not gonna.
Yeah, I like her man too soon.
Yeah, like.
She was like, I'm getting all the bad parts before I get the good parts.
Exactly. And
Jealous.
I'm like, do I like him enough to get through that? I realized that no.
And if it starts off like that, it's most likely it's gonna end off. Like, it'll be the reason why you end. So
I'm just gonna say he was a fire sign, and I read that fire signs fight a lot. And I'm like, maybe that doesn't work for me. I'm an air sign, so I'm like, I like to be cool and collected and like go with the flow.
Yeah.
So fighting a lot or being like too intense doesn't work for me.
So now let's switch it. For your last relationship, like the last person you fell in love with, right? I know. I know it's speaking in terms of me. And I'll start this one off. So what was the thing, like what were some of the main reasons you fell in love with them? And for me, when I first met my boyfriend now, I was like, it was mainly his availability. I felt like he had a lot of time to process, like not to process, to like experience the beginning of our relationship, dedicate time to it, you know. I felt like he made me feel safe in a sense with like my emotions and with like the first time we did anything, like I remember I stayed over at his house and we were friends and then he ended up cuddling me and that's how I started. Just from that little cuddle. I was like I laid in his bed and he pulled me in and cuddled me. I was like, oh my god. I was like, I'm safe. I'm only gonna sleep here. But I would say that's what it was. Availability and he made me feel safe and he was like we were like friends at first so we could talk to each other about anything. We would joke around, so he was funny. That really helped. But it was mainly availability, and you made me feel safe. What about you? The last time you fell in love,
The last time I fell in
what
love.
was what was the points that you could be like, yeah, that's why?
I feel like he made me laugh. He was family oriented. He was mature, and I felt like I could be myself. And I feel like we were compatible with on a lot of things, like compatibility. Like we were some things I realized down the line that we weren't.
Yeah.
Like long term, but in that moment, like we were compatible. So there were like similarities that made me feel like I could definitely see myself with this person.
Yeah. I kind of feel the same. Like I feel like he was very ambitious. He had like a lot of different things going for him, and at the time, like I had just moved to a new city, like I'm figuring everything out, so I'm like, oh shit, like you gonna be able to really like put me on game. And then we would like conversation was crazy. Like we'd be up till like 5 a.m. for like days at a time watching the sun come up, not even doing nothing. I'm like, oh, this is crazy. Like we ain't even fucked. Like what?
Yeah. Imagine when,
you know,
she's gonna be crazy.
Shit.
So in a relationship, would you, not a relationship, when dating, do you rather that you're being pursued? Would you rather you be pursued or you pursue them? Or do you, like, does it matter to you? Do you feel like he needs to come up to you and let you know you like him? Or has there been times when you're like, nah, I'm gonna get that? Like,
I mean, I feel like
I'm not saying shit.
when it comes to like you pursuing me as far as like you like me relationship wise, like yeah, like you need to come up to me, you need to let me know that you like me, how you feel about me, do you think I'm pretty, like all the other things.
To make you feel comfortable.
But I feel like if it's just like some fun, then I might, be bold enough.
I might.
If
he's that guy, she just might. So put up in her DMs because she just might if you're that one. Basically. What? Alright, I'm going to try to close it out. Guys, I know that these episodes have been short and you probably hate me for it because it's so good and you want it to be 7 hours. However,
damn,
I have short. You see, it gets so good.
We got a lot of conversations.
I have short camera time. It was about, you rather be pursued or would you rather a guy pursue you?
Let me answer that real quick. I think that I would rather be pursued. Yeah. I feel like as a woman, like we like to definitely like feel that feeling of he's showing interest, he's putting in effort and that type of stuff. Do I mind like shooting my shot in the beginning? No. Like I'll totally be down, if I'm out or like through DMs or whatever, like sending a text. I'll definitely shoot my shot. But then after that, I have to feel that it's mutual. Like I have to feel that you're putting in effort too. Yeah, if I feel like I'm doing too much, then I have enough self-worth to be like, all right, I'm going to take a step back. Mm-hmm. You're not feeling the same thing I'm feeling, so.
Absolutely.
I feel the same way. So what would be the main things, like the main pointers to give to our females and our men? We have men watching this as well. What would be our main pointers to give them about dating? From this episode, what can they gather that they should start doing or they should keep in mind?
I think just be committed and be intentional about the commitment. Like, don't try to be with somebody because, just because you have a good time don't mean that y'all got to be in a serious relationship.
Yeah.
Right.
So that, really just, and just compartmentalize it, like really growing with somebody. Are you ready to grow with somebody? Because we're all young. We're not grown as fuck.
Some people might be 70 watching this.
Some people might.
It's over for you. Now
if you are, good luck. Hope you find. Go on the Golden Bachelor. But
farmersonly.com.
Christian
Mingle.
But yeah, I'm like, no, because getting into relationships now, like, if you want to be in
It's
a
scary in
relationship,
society too.
please, like, know that everybody's going through their things. We're all grown. We're all finding ourselves. So either
What can you sum up for our viewers
So
in terms of
the question was, like, any advice for dating?
Mhm.
I would say,
like that we spoke about that they should take as key points?
yeah, I would say definitely first and foremost, be honest with yourself. Where are you in life? Are you looking for a relationship? Do you want to just have fun? Are you looking, just for a little short term, whatever? Like, just be honest with yourself. Where are you? Go to therapy. I think everybody should just go to therapy. Like, talk through whatever.
Go to church,
it is.
nigga.
That too. Talk to
Pray to
God.
God.
Talk to God for sure.
Need Jesus.
And then just be like as honest as possible. When you know you're feeling something, say it. Like, I know sometimes it's hard to have like those tough conversations to let somebody know that you're not feeling them, or
Seven's gonna be a part of all the videos. If you haven't known, right, this is Seven. She runs this house and the podcast. But
yeah, just be honest, like with the person that you're talking to.
Yeah.
Where are you? What are you feeling? And have fun with it, honestly, because at the end of the day, like, we can't, take everything too seriously. We're here, we're learning. Everybody is either what they say, like a lesson or a blessing. So if this person's a lesson, just have fun with it and learn what you need to learn.
I would say be patient first and foremost with yourself and with whoever you're dating. Be considerate for yourself and whoever you're dating. Know your boundaries going in to the relationship, or when you're dating, know exactly what you're going to stand for and what you're not. And when you see, I wouldn't say the first thing that you feel like you're not going to stand for, but maybe depending on how severe and how it could end up like affecting the relationship in the long run. But if you see like more than two flags that it's like I said I wasn't going to put up with this, I would say leave and run. Don't walk, run before it's too late, and then you love them. And I would say, yeah, be transparent when you want. Don't be afraid to tell them exactly what you're looking for. And, if you're feeling some type of way, don't be afraid to let that be known either. But also learn how to listen, because you're not the only person in this. So if they're feeling some type of way, maybe there's things that you can do as well to accommodate. It's not a one-sided thing. If you take all of our tips,
You might just be in a healthy relationship.
you'll be a good bitch. You take all of our tips.
Or man.
Or a good
Either
nigga.
or.
Shit, But thank you for watching this episode. We will be back next week. We will have more good guests, more good conversations, more good topics. Don't forget to try out that prompt. Let us know in the comments below how it's worked for you. And if you haven't already, follow, subscribe, and like this video.
And girl, you got this.
Friend, you got this. And my boys, y'all got this. How's it going?